Okay, Shalom Ubracha. So we're before the fast day, Yudzayin B'Tammuz, and these 3 weeks, there's the famous, I say it every year, the famous teaching of the Maggid Mizrich, Kol Rodfeha Hisigua Ben HaMetzarim. Right, it's a pasuk from Echa, that all those who pursued Yerushalayim reached to destroy her, Ben HaMetzarim. Rashi says between Yudzayin B'Tammuz until Tisha B'Av, these are the Ben HaMetzarim, between the straits, the tightness, when the enemy came in, okay? So the Maggid says like this, Kol Rodef Yud-K, whoever's reaching, trying to run after Yud-K, Hisig Vav-K, Hisigua. Kol Rodfeha, so it's Rodef Yud-K, Hisigua, so you have Hisig Vav-K, you join Yud-K Vav-K, when? Ben HaMetzarim. These 3 weeks are super duper powerful for reconnecting to Hashem. People think of morning and no showers, and so one joke on the side. One joke is that how do Ashkenazim bless each other on the 9 days? Zay Masriach. The Sfardim, they have Medina de Gemara's Shavua Shechalbo, the week of, we start no showers and all that stuff from Sunday only. So we have this year 3 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Ashkenazim, oy vey. They start from Rosh Chodesh, Rosh Chodesh Av. So they say not Zay Matzliach, Zay Masriach. Masriach means stink. You should stink. Okay? Don't take no offense to anybody. Everyone has there's also leniencies for hot countries like this. Rav Yosef, he screams at people who stink, and you can't daven next to them because they stink. There's halachot. You have to know what the boundary is. If you're someone who stinks, then you have to clean yourself. It's asur. Okay. Yeah, but even the mikveh is zay masriach. It's Okay, fine. So
you have to shower before.
Right? Yeah, and after. Okay. So these 3 weeks are very special. Rav Nosson wrote a beautiful prayer that people say during the 3 weeks. I think it's part 236 or 37. I have to check again which one it is, from the Likutei Tfilot. Very powerful. And it's a time that a person realizes that him and Hashem, it's not enough. It's not working out. He needs a tzaddik. You need a tzaddik. It's not just, okay, there's me and Hashem and Akadosh Baruch Hu and Borei Olam. People are like that. People, it's Borei Olam, and they're lost. They're lost. You need a tzaddik. He's not chas v'shalom an intermediary. You daven to Hashem, but for advice and counsel that He should daven for you. And as he said, yes, you do need an intermediary. That's Rav Chaim Kramer's words, beautifully said in Crossing the Narrow Bridge, in the chapter on tzaddik. He says it so nicely there. That there is a time that a tzaddik is yes an intermediary, but when it comes to davening, chas v'shalom, you daven to Hashem. No one's saying contrary. We're not davening to a tzaddik. We're asking tzaddikim to daven for us, like the classic Gemara in Sota about Kalev ben Yefuneh going to Hebron, Parshat Shlach, Vayavo at Hebron, and like the Gemara says, he said directly to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they passed away already. He's talking to tombstones. Avotai ha'atiru ba'adi shelo epol ba'atzat meraglim. My fathers daven for me that I shouldn't fall. Okay, so you see, going to daven by graves at tzaddikim is not idolatry like some people think, chas v'shalom. And it's a very bad and wrong notion. It's a Jewish notion, yes, to go to Kibbutz Tzaddikim. And to speak to them directly, it's not a problem. You can ask them to daven for you. There's not a problem. Okay? So, even though it's a difficult time, we still have to tell some jokes. Okay? So I have 3 jokes. They asked an American, an Israeli, and an Arab to clean out a stinky, shed of a donkey. There was a donkey that stunk. And they said, we'll give you $100, $100 if you clean cut the shed. So the American goes in, he goes, he goes out. He can't clean it. The Israeli goes in, he comes out. The Arab, the Hamas Arabs, the bad ones, he goes in, the donkey ran out. Okay. Now I don't know how to say this. An ahabal. Ahabal is like a tembel. A tembel means someone who's like brick-headed. I don't want to say nations because I got in trouble last time by saying if it's Polacks or Kurdim. I don't want to say anything. Okay, so no Canadians is Nufis. Yeah. Nufis, Polacks, Kurdim. I don't want to say anything. Okay, then ahabal. Ahabal is like a tembel, like a square, brick-headed guy. How many of them does it take to change a light bulb? 5. 1 to get on the ladder to turn the light bulb, and 4 to turn the ladder. Okay. Now, how many American seminary girls does it take to change a light bulb? How many American seminary girls take a light bulb? 100. 1 to go up the ladder, and 99 to daven. She doesn't fall. Oh my God! Oh my God! Shira! Oh my God! Okay, we have to break the ice. Okay, Bezat Hashem. So we have Rabbeinu's classic parable. It's a parable, not a tale. It's a parable, and like a story with a moral lesson, an anecdote. That's the word, I guess. Anecdote. Yeah. There's an anecdote from Rabbeinu of the bridge in Vienna. Just to quickly go over the parable, the anecdote is Rabbeinu said that there was a Jew in like Eastern Europe and Russia who dreamt that in Vienna, under a certain bridge, there was a treasure buried. And the dream was so crystal clear. He saw the exact name of the street, the exact bridge, where in the earth, like X-ray vision, underground, where's the treasure? Okay? He woke up, he said, this is too good to be true. It's too real. It's too clear. I never remember my dreams like this. It must be real. So he was poor, he had nothing. He sold everything he had to get a ticket to go to Vienna, whatever. So he gets to Vienna, and like in the dream, like off by heart, he knows the exact streets where to go, where to turn, and he sees the bridge. He gets to the street of the bridge, he sees the bridge, and he sees exactly the spot under he brought a shovel, he sees where to dig, where the treasure is. One problem, there was a police officer guarding on the bridge. Yeah, police officers were standing there for security, whatever. Okay? So he's trying to figure out what to do. He's already under the bridge next to where the treasure is. And he wants to see what to do about the police officer. What if he catches him? He starts digging. What is he going to say? He's thinking maybe I'll split the treasure with him. I'll give him a third, whatever. He's trying to think of all these ideas. And then while he's thinking, the police officer says, "You, Jew, what are you doing here?" So again, in Vienna they speak German and he speaks Yiddish, so they can get along a little. So he speaks to him. He said, "I'll tell him the truth, and maybe he'll spare me. Maybe he'll, I'll split it with him." So he said, "Well, I dreamt, 2 weeks ago approximately, that there's a treasure right over here, and I came to dig it up." And the police officer said to him, "You silly Jews, all you guys believe is in dreams. I also had a dream. Was it on this night? So and so?" He said, "Yeah, that's the night I had my dream. I also dreamt. Afani b'chalomi. I also had a dream that there was also in a certain village in Eastern Europe, in this village in a Ukrainian shtetl, in this guy's house. This is the guy's name, Moshe whatever, Lebovich, and in his house, this is the street. And under his bed, you take out the wooden planks, and underneath, he digs a little. There's a treasure there." So the police officer described him, his house, his name, his street, everything. So he said, "Thank you." He ran back home. He moved his bed, took off the planks, and he found the treasure. So Rabbeinu finishes off. The treasure was under his nose all along, but he had to go to Vienna to find out that there was a treasure. Okay? So Rabbeinu says, what's the analogy? What's the nimshal? The nimshal is that everyone has a treasure inside of him, but in order to discover the treasure, you have to go to the tzaddik. You have to go to the tzaddik, which in the analogy is idea of the bridge in Vienna. Okay? That's what Rabbeinu says. So the big question for years people have, how do you connect a bridge in Vienna to the tzaddik? Plus the police officer there. The dream was the bridge in Vienna. The incident was of the police officer. But Rabbeinu said that you have to go to Vienna. You have to go to Vienna, so too you have to go to the tzaddik. So he's going to Vienna, and the bridge there in Vienna, that parallels the idea of the tzaddik. What the police officer said, that's like the advice that comes out, fine. But what in the world, Rabbeinu, everything that Rabbeinu said is so precise. Avram ben Nachman, he said, I hope that 10,000 years after the Tchiat HaMetim, resurrection of the dead, I will understand a simple sikha of Rabbi Nachman like the Rebbe himself did. 10,000 years after Tchiat HaMetim, okay? So every detail that comes out of Rabbeinu's lips is precise and detailed, okay? Just like the Rebbe said to Rav Nosson when he first met him, he spoke about a student of the Balatanya who spent 8 years writing chidushim on one ma'amar of the Alter Rebbe of Chabad. Alter Rebbe Chabad Balatanya wrote a ma'amar, and this student 8 years was mechadish on it, and he was miramis. He was hinting to Rav Nosson that he also should take care to every word he says, and he can develop it. B'ezrat Hashem. That's how it's understood. That nothing came excess. There's no excess in Breslov and Rabbi Nachman's teachings. Every word is precise. So the question is here, why Rabbi Nachman, why Rabbeinu are you taking the analogy of the bridge in Vienna to the tzaddik? What in the world does Vienna have to do with the tzaddik? I never looked into the history of Vienna, the history of the Jews of Vienna, what sticks out. But in the word Vienna, fine, Rabbeinu uses Vienne, but it's also in English Vienna, okay? And you can expand it to say it's Vienna. Vienna is a combination of a few words. It could be Vai Ana, Oy Vai, Ana, Hashem, Ana Bechoach, please, Ana. Also, in Yiddish, Vi, where? Ana, am I? Where am I? Okay? So, Vienna, like, Vai Ana, oh Hashem, where are you? And Vi Ana, where am I? Okay? So it's both. What's the idea? That Rabbi Nachman once said, I can only help a person who comes to me and he tells me what he needs. Meaning what? For Rabbi Nachman's eitzot to kick in, really, the person has to have some minimal itaruta diltata, some minimum from his part, an arousal from below. He has to give an input. It's not like, okay, I'm going to Uman, free for all, I can sit back, I can do what I want, I can smoke, I can steal, I can do niyuv chas shalom, do what I want, Rabbeinu will take care of me, okay? It's a wrong attitude. You have to show that something hurts you. It's not like, oh, you just drown it out. Everything's okay, man, everything's okay. You missed the point. If you want the tzaddik to help you, you have to feel avi, ana, or, where am I? Ovai, wo ana, please Hashem, help me. You have to have some minimal pain. It's not like, okay, painkiller, everything's okay. Some people today, they say no negative, just all positive. The problem is, you bring positive upon positive, so the person's fake already. There's nothing real. The real part is a person has a taste of a guilt. That's what they say in Breslov. There's 1 hour hitbodedut, 1 hour Purim, 1 hour Yom Kippur, and 23 hours Purim. In other words, yes, there's a balance. There's 23 hours of being happy and good points and chazik.
says that?
That's a Breslov saying in Siach Safek Kodesh and possibly Kochvi Or and Avnei Brazil also. It's a it's a Breslov statement that 1 hour Yom Kippurim where you do a cheshbon and nefesh, you break your heart out, you have a pain.
That's for like the tefillos?
That's the hour. The hour of Hitbodedut is you have to be realistic. You can't be fake of yourself. In Hitbodedut, there's no time to be fake. 23 hours be fake. Yeah, everything's okay, man. All right, but not 24 hours. 23. You have to leave 1 hour. It's minimum. The majority is the simcha. We agree. You have to work on being besimcha because it's so easy to break people today. A little bit, they're off already. A little bit of guilt, okay, I have to smoke now, I have to overeat now, I have to indulge. You just flick people a little bit, they're already off. Okay, it's understood. But now just to be 24 hours and fake and always have everything's okay, and you're covering up, you missed the point. You have to have that bit of guilt, a bit, and then quickly you have to have a charata, and then from that go to the simcha. But if there's no charata and just simcha, and you're telling people simcha, in chinuch also today, they're telling people, go easy on your kids, It's true that you have to be nice, but you have to have a balance. Okay? It's like, the problem is that people, they're too much dinim. The mom of the derech kids is the parents were just always negative. It was like 24 hours negative. There was never simcha at all. So that's understood why they fell off. But also 24 hours just happy, let them do what they want, and anything like that, you're going to lose the kids also. You need a balance. In the balance, it's true, the majority is the simcha part. We agree. But that 1 hour of we have to be emisdik. Come on, man. You don't play games with yourself. Okay? Likutei tefillot, when you open Likutei tefillot, he's cutting you open. Okay? It's not all day long. It's a piece of the day to help you do hitbodedut. As a Likutei tefillot, he does surgery, open heart surgery. My sins, my iniquities, Hashem, I did this and that. It's not all day long. It's for a piece of the day to open you up. And like Rabbeinu says in Sichot Haran, that when you do a good hitbodedut, then you can really be besimcha. And vice versa. B leads to A. That if you work on being besimcha all day, so when it comes to time to hitbodedut, you can open up your heart also and feel broken and cry and everything. Okay? You need both. Both are going to propel you. It can't be just simcha and then there's no openness, there's no open-heartedness, but it can't be also just being dinim and cheshbon nefesh and guilt and whatever, and then there's no simcha. You need the balance. And we agree that in the balance, the majority is the simcha. We agree, no problem. But don't fool yourself. I know I bumped into people like that. It's okay, Rabbeinu will fix us. It's okay, Rabbeinu. And they're like, these people, you can tell they went through a lot in life. I understand. But the present attitude of just being happy and flying and everything's okay, and that's it, then they're not going to move forward. You need that time of hitbodedut. That's why they say it's 1 hour Yom Kippur. What's Yom Kippur? Like the Sfardim. Right? It's like 1 hour Yom Kippur, we're asking forgiveness. Okay? We're doing vidui, vayavo, yudgimamido. That's Yom Kippur. 1 hour. 1 hour. If it's too much, half an hour. If it's too much, 15 minutes. Whatever you can do. whatever is at your level, but do it, to have that piece of the day that there is a feeling, okay? So the idea here of Vienna is that the tzaddik comes in to help you find your treasure. Doesn't happen to everybody. Many people will come to a tzaddik, and people say, look, he came a Breslover, nothing happened. Look, he didn't change. Look how he left this world, and he's even worse off. It depends why people come to Breslov also, number one. There's a bikoret on both sides. The bikoret is the person now who's coming to Breslov. Are you doing Vienna or Vienna? Are you doing that? Are you doing Vienna? There was a song in the 80s, Vienna Calling. It was funny, Vienna Calling. It's a funny song. A group Falco, you remember? I don't know, 1980s. The words is exactly, we're using it for Kedusha now. Vienna's calling. Unbelievable, huh? Vienna's calling. Are you doing that? Then you get to the treasure. If you're not doing that, okay, stay around Breslov, it'll help you and everything, but you won't get to your treasure. It's true. You'll be better off than if you were not in Breslov. That's true. But you won't get to your treasure. Then to get to the treasure, you have to do that part of Vienna every day. Vienna or Vienna. One of the two, or both of them. You have to let that out B'ezrat Hashem, okay? And by the people on the outside, don't judge. People outside, it's so easy. Look at this Breslov, he didn't change. We thought he became Breslov, he'd get better, now he's worse off, okay? They have no idea what's happening, people outside. That's one of the nisyonot, is that they look from the outside, look at them jumping on their cars, doing nothing, and smoking, and this, and the divorce, and then. Come on, okay? You guys are looking negatively, so of course, we don't pay attention to such comments because we know they're not true, and that's part of the Hisnagdus. Rav Aaron Kiblitcher, he was the father-in-law of Rav Yitzhak Bender. And once Rav Yitzhak Bender was next to his father-in-law, and traveling in the Ukraine villages, and a misnaged took a piece of excrement of a horse manure and threw it on the back of Rav Aaron Kiblitcher. And Rav Yitzhak Bender, who was just his new avrech, he just got married, newly married son-in-law, he took a fit. He took a fit at the guy. What are you doing? So Aaron Kiblitcher says, what are you doing? Don't you know that's how it works? They're supposed to insult us and we're supposed to remain quiet? You don't know that's how it works? It works. What are you? You're new to this? He's new to this. We don't answer back. They give the bizayon and we remain silent. Because, lesson 6, Likutei Moharan, by you remaining silent, you do the greatest tikkunim. But the Arizal says, for example, to fast. The person, about the Arizal, the person was bekas, got angry. So what's the tikkun? The Arizal says you have to fast the equivalent of the gematria of kas. That's 20 of days. So it's 20 days. Kaf is 20. Ayin is 70. Samech is 60. So 60 plus 70 plus 20 days. You have to fast to fix kas. But what one bizayon does to you, when someone insults you and you be quiet, it fixes what the kas, those what a fast do, the one bizayon does, okay?
So they get embarrassed one time.
Even one embarrassment. In Breslov, Avram Nachman, he said that getting embarrassed is so great that lichora, logically, I should have go to the mikveh before getting embarrassed because it's such a big event for purifying me. But what can you do? The bizayon comes unexpectedly, comes suddenly, it comes out of the blue. The thing is, I have the right training to remember when I get embarrassed not to blow up. For that, you need to do a lot of davening, a lot of going of lesson 6. Rabbi Nachman says this lesson 6 is like the main lesson of Elul. And he says also that this is the key for a person finding his marriage partner. Finding a marriage partner requires being insulted and being quiet. You activate what's called the tikkun of kavanot Elul, which activates finding the marriage partner. It's a whole lesson in the Likutei Moharan involving Eliezer and Yitzchak and Avram Avinu when he sent out lesson 87, part 2 of the Likutei Moharan. How Rabbi Nachman shows how it's hinted to the idea of ani ledodi velo dodili, ups and downs, being insulted, embarrassed, and holding on. And that's the key for finding your marriage partner. That's a big thing, B'ezrat Hashem, all right? So, that's what I wanted to go into. I don't know if we have much more if you want me to talk about a certain item, I can go on to something else. But this is the main theme I wanted to go into tonight, is that Breslov helps, but depends on your input. Okay? Rav Shimshon Barsky, he writes this in his introduction to Etzot Mevorot. In English it's called A Bit More Advice. He says, if you think coming close to Breslov and the tzaddik and not following the advice is enough, it's not enough. You have to do both. It's one thing you come to Rosh Hashanah, you believe in these ideas, but you have to learn and follow the teachings in order to fully maximize how much you get from Rabbeinu's inyan. Breslov is so big. It's big. It's humongous. There's so much in Breslov, Baruch Hashem, but it depends on how much you want to receive. It's like an endless storehouse, but you're just like, okay, I'll just open the door and put my hand in, take a little like jujubes and raisins and some Snickers, and then that's it. Come on. Okay, you have so much out there. It's humongous. Breslov is big. People don't know how big it is. People think, oh, Breslov is the first impression. Those guys jumping on the tracks, right? Those guys. Okay, that's the first impression. Second, oh yeah, Rabbi Nachman's Tikkun Akali. Okay. Oh, Uman Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, they go Uman. They leave their wives alone and everything. Okay, but there's levels. There's levels, and then learning the Likutei Moran. You have all over the world the Likutei Moran Shirim, right? Everyone's learning Likutei Moran, but less people are learning. Haven't touched Likutei Halachot, Likutei Tfilot. Okay. So next level is now Likutei Halachot, Likutei Tfilot, all the Rabbi Sfarim, Rabbi Nachman stories, Sichot Aran, Chaim Moharan, Sefer Amidot, and then the second generation Breslovers, third generations, and then the stories, Rabbi Rosenfeld, etc., Rabbi Yitzchak Bender, all these stories and people, and it doesn't end. How to learn Torah, how to learn the Likutei Moran, to go inside. There's 18 rules, and it's endless and endless. So Breslov has so much, but depends how much you're willing to go in. If you just want surface level, then that's all you're going to get, surface level, okay? It depends how much you put in, how much you cry out Vayana. You can get so much. I see, for example, when I'm zochet to go to Uman, in the middle of the year, not Rosh Hashanah, besides Rosh Hashanah, so I know that every second year is Gan Eden and gold. And there's no time to waste and schmooze of people and hang around, because I'm there for 1 or 2 days. And I know that getting up at Chatzot by Rabbeinu is like, it's like the jackpot. The jackpot. To be up at midnight by Rabbi Nachman's kever, after mikveh, after Chatzot, there's nothing greater in the world for this. Maybe Meron also, and maybe the Kotel. The Kotel, Meron, and Uman, you're flipping out. Chatzot, and I see him like all alone. The other guys are just talking and schmoozing. I can't believe it. You're wasting. It's so Gan Eden to be here. You should be doing at least what I'm doing. To do it, to do the Kutei Tefillah, they're schmoozing and talking and that.
They're there all year round.
Okay, but no, even the guys who come, you wonder what's going on. Maybe that's the disadvantage of being there all year round. You lose the value. It's sad. Chaval, If I'm out and then I come for 1 day, then I know I pack in for 1 day what I can do.
Same thing with living in Jerusalem.
Yeah, you how many people go to the Kotel?
Exactly.
How often you go to the Kotel?
Dying to come here.
Yeah, and you, when you go to the Kotel? Oh, I have my stomach ache today, I can't go today.
And now you can understand the Dora Midbar.
That they were so used to it.
Exactly. Right. They
Midbar.
saw the Nisim all the time. Oh, the shoots are food's
That's why it's not good to get used to
Let's
things.
go see Moshe. Now we'll go tomorrow.
Now you understand, because of that, why Jews has to go through ups and downs. Why do you have to go through ups and downs? They don't regulate. They don't become, used to status quo. The worst is when they just don't care about you anymore. Everything is dead now. That's the worst. Then oh my God. If Hashem things are just too smooth and too easy, and I've lost it, then Hashem, what are you doing to me? You have to fight.
Gemara says 30 days without
He's right, and
blemish, you're in trouble.
Rabbeinu quotes that in the Dalet
What
book.
30 days without kind of blemish?
If you Yisurim, then you know that you got your will to come in this world already. And then important. Puranut muchana lavo.
You're gonna pass away soon.
Yeah, you're gonna lose something after that. 30 days Gan Eden in this world, then something bad is happening. You have to go through a roller coaster. There has to be a problem with the phone bill and the electric bill, and the computers aren't working, and with the shalom bayit, and with the kids, and with the stomach, and with the kishkis, and the cholent after Shabbos, and this, and you missed the appointment, and you went to Orach Chaim, and you had no hitorerut. You have to have this. You have to have things that are. You have to have my machonim. I know Nachon there's percentages of my machonim. Nachon there's 5% my machonim. Nachon there's 20% my machonim. But you have to have some minimum my. If things are too perfect.
You have to reach into your pocket and want 2 coins and get 1 back.
Very nice. That's nicely said. Nicely said. Reach in, 2 coins. Reach in and expect 1. Expect 1. Very nice.
Expect 2 and get 1.
Expect 2, but get 1 and be happy with it. So that's the point. Bezat Hashem. That Rabbeinu requires us to do searching and not to give up, not to give in. And like I say in the other classes also, that there's minimum advices from Rabbeinu, and you added Simcha. Fine, that a person minimum that it's hard to say minimum, but yes, it's a minimum to be considered a soldier of the Rebbe. Is the idea of going to the mikveh daily, Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin daily, Tikkun HaKlali daily. I know this is hard, right? The Kotei Tefillah daily. You do whatever you can do. If it's not an hour, then it's like whatever time you can do. And Rosh Hashanah by Rabbeinu. These things maintain that you have sanity. And halacha every day. Sorry, 6 points. Halacha every day. Minimum halacha, even 1 line, 2 lines. But this is like minimum things to be involved in the Rebbe's inyan, that I'm connected, that I have that connection, that I'm committed. Whether I have a high day, low day, these things happen. There'll be many ups and downs, but these things, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier of the Rebbe, B'ezrat Hashem. So these things are important. So spoke about many things. Yiratzon, we should be zoche to connect to Vienna. Maybe we should travel to Uman through Vienna. I don't know.
I did last year.
Vienna, look at that. B'ezrat Hashem.
I heard a story. Tell me if you've heard this story before. There was an Israeli guy. He got invited with some friends to Uman for Rosh Hashanah. The whole time he was there, he was partying. It was also a couple, like many years ago. This is like the story happened 40 years ago.
Okay.
He's partying there the whole time. The kids are, the only thing he does, Uman Rosh Hashanah's finished, everything's over. He never stopped for a second or did anything. But before he leaves, he's like, "Oh, I want to thank this Rabbi Nachman guy."
Right.
So his friend's like, "Oh, there's this kever." Like he didn't even know if he's alive or dead.
If it's a living Rebbe or a dead Rebbe.
Yeah. So he's like, "Okay." So he goes into the kever for a second. He goes, "Thank you, Rebbe. See you next year, maybe. We'll see you around."
See you around.
So he just says, "Thank you, Rebbe. Had a great time." The kids are years and years past. He's still going on his partying
Journey.
He has a motorcycle. Gets in a very big motorcycle crash, and he's knocked unconscious.
Right.
And he sees he goes up to Shemayim and he sees what's going on over there, and the judge is looking very bad, and he's like, "That's it. Like the guy's
It's finished.
We're taking him, and he's going to get him. He didn't do anything good his whole life. He just partied his whole life away. He didn't have any. I can't find any schusim on the computer." All of a sudden, Rabbi Nachman runs in and be like, "What do you mean? It's my Talmud. It's my Talmud. Of course he's my Talmud." So what do you mean your Talmud? If he was your Talmud, he would be with payas, is learning a little,
Right.
going to the mikvah. Look at this guy. He has all the X's on the whole chart. She says, "No. One time he came to Rosh Hashanah and watched the tape. He called me Rebbe. He said, 'Thank you, Rebbe.' Even though he said, 'Thank you, Rebbe,' he makes it his Talmud Kitzur."
Oh, wow.
I mean, Nachman pulled some strings
Wow.
and brought him back into this world. He woke up and he remembered everything. He remembered that Rabbi Nachman came in and fought for him, and he lived many more years. 20 years later, this story was told.
He told over
the story
Right.
with Payas and his children with Payas, and
I heard this story. All the details I don't know, but I heard the story. Yeah.
this is 40 years ago. 20 years ago, he told it over.
Called him Rebbe.
Told him Rebbe.
Wow. We should be zochem B'ezrat Hashem.
I think that you mentioned that
Anyone that went to Uman and said Rabbi Nachman, they already called him Rebbe. They're like, "Oh, where's Rabbi Nachman?"
We learned from that
I
one.
think that we learned that.
I had no clue what I was doing the first time I went to Uman. Someone convinced me to go. I got there. I'm standing on Pushkinas with my suit. I'm like,
What am I doing here?
What am I even doing here?
Oh, did you do a story?
I knew nobody until I met this guy who convinced me. I met his son. He's like, "Dude, you went to the mikveh yet?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Follow me." Brings me to the mikveh. He says, "Tikkun HaKlali, just repeat after me."
Give
I
a
was
coin
like,
to
"It's gonna take me
tzedakah."
2 hours to say this.
Right.
He's like, "Just repeat word after word." It still took like 45 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
I said every word of Tikkun HaKlali after him. He gave me like a little coin to give someone.
Right.
And then he's like, "You're good. Go
You're
do whatever
good.
you want."
You're good.
I was like, "That's it. We can go smoke, chill, everything." He's like, "You're good." I'm like, "That's what I gave him." He's like, "Yeah, that's it." Also, I had a big suitcase in the carry-on. I never got there with my suitcase with all the clothes and everything. It was gone.
It was
It never
lost.
got to me in the airport.
So you're stuck with your
They're like,
clothing.
give us your phone number.
Right.
We're trying to get to you. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
And then you got it? You ever got it in the end?
No, it came 2 hours before Rosh Hashanah.
Nice.
I'm like, why are you even coming? I don't even have clothes now. I'm gonna look like the same as the
You have a
week.
backpack?
Rosh Hashanah. I had my carry-on or a backpack. Yeah, one of the.
But you don't put clothing in your
Yeah,
carry.
all my main stuff was in my big suitcase.
Right.
I had nothing.
That
I'm
was your
like,
problem. You went to
Rosh
one of
Hashanah, I
the
can't even
things-
shower. I told myself, what am I even showering for? I don't have underwear, no underwear, nothing. Who cares? I'm waiting, and then I get a call from a random Ukraine number. I'm like, what?
Mister.
Suitcase, where are you now? Something. I was like, Pushkina. He's like, okay, I there 5 minutes. I was like, what? And the guy came with my suitcase.
Nice.
I was shocked. And I had like all my garbage in there. It was good.
What did you want to
I had my
say?
clothes, I had all my steel.
What do we learn
How
from?
many years ago was this?
This was like 12 years ago.
Shh.
Yeah.
You were
Nice.
how old?
I was like 15.
That's it.
Wow.
Little
Yeah,
picture.
16. I was
Wow.
like,
You're a little kid.
Little
out of
kid.
high school, yeah. the whole-
Baruch Hashem.
Little kid.
I've been going since '92.
And the next year was
1992.
better?
Next year, I went
Age
once
19.
Before I
to-
was born.
Oh, okay.
I went one other time. I was gonna go again then. Yeah, I don't know. But I went one
What do we
other
learn
time.
from this?
What do you want to
One
say?
other time, I promised. I told Rabina what happened. Oh, I went that one time to Uman. I was like, okay, it was good. Yeah, I love Rabina Nachman. I'm a little breastplate and everything. Then one time it was like in COVID time, and it was like there's no work or anything. Yeah, straight up, I'll tell you the story. I was in a casino, and I was like, dude, I want money, right? Everyone's losing this, that. Anyway, I was like, Rabbi Nachman, if you give me $5,000, I'm coming to Uman this year for Rosh Hashanah.
How long ago was this?
I made $5,000. I never made more than $1,000.
How long ago was this?
This
This
was
is
in COVID.
COVID. It's
I was like, Rabbi
2020.
Nachman, if you give me $5,000, I made way more than $5,000. I just kept on sitting there. I had no clue what I was doing even. I was just like, yeah, Biscuit Rabbi Nachman. I kept on saying, I was by myself. It was COVID. I was bored. I had nothing to do.
Wow.
Yeah, and then COVID got worse, where it was like there was 50 people in Uman that year or something.
Yeah,
and it was
2021.
closed. I was like, I feel really dumb, like I can't go. And I'm asking everyone, like, dude, you just can't. You can't.
2020.
Your flight's not gonna take off. This and that.
Right.
I felt stupid, so I didn't go that year, even though I promised her. So the next year, I made sure to go. Like, and next year it was like a couple days before Shana, or like the next day was the last day to go take the flight out. And I'm like, I feel stupid. It happened what I did. I promised Rabbi Nachman I'm gonna go. I wasn't crazy because nobody went. The guys who told me, I was like, it's for sure BS. If you go, you'll get in. The guys who went told me like, no, we weren't able to go at that. We got stuck in Odessa and this
What,
and
the year
that.
after?
What?
The year after COVID?
Yeah, the
Really?
year ago I asked people. I wanted to see if like I was just thinking in my head that I can't go, and I lied to
You're
myself.
talking about the year of COVID? Year
2020.
First I'm talking about the year of COVID. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And people told me, yeah, you really couldn't go. So I was like, okay, so next year I'll try to go. And then the next year was like one day left to get the flight. And I was like to my friend, we gotta go right now. I booked the flight. This other kid next to me also booked his flight, and we did it. We just booked it on the spot. And I
Well,
went
How'd you
next-
get in? Where'd you go through? What'd you do?
The next day was also hard, but I got all the information. I got like the fake COVID test and all that
That was
stuff.
before the war.
Like all of us.
Yeah,
Like all of us.
before. I went like the one of the last year.
Last year
That
before
was the
Baruch
last
Hashem.
year.
I couldn't go for 3 years in a row. I had trouble.
Ah, yeah.
One year I got arrested. 1 year I wouldn't have been allowed to get back into Israel because I didn't have my Israeli passport yet. It was a whole. What was the last time? The third year? I think it was
Crazy.
Corona. The first year was Corona, then arrested, and then